She's not just a scorer. She's not just a passer. She's not just the best college basketball player of her generation. She's a walking revolution. Caitlin Clark went from a small-town Iowa teenager to one of the most watched athletes in America, breaking NCAA records, selling out arenas, and redefining what women's basketball looks like. She turned logo threes into her signature. She made trash talk mainstream. She turned every game into must-see TV. And now, she's a WNBA star, a cultural icon, and the face of the sport's future. But how did it all begin? How did a soft-spoken girl from Des Moines become the most electrifying player in the game? Let's rewind and tell the story of Caitlin Clark's rise to greatness. Before the sold-out arenas, before the record-breaking college stats, before the WNBA draft spotlight, Caitlin Clark was just a kid with a basketball and an insane belief in herself. Born on January 22, 2002, in Des Moines, Iowa, Caitlin grew up in a sports-loving household where competition was practically a language. Her father, Brent, played college basketball and baseball. Her mother, Anne, ran track. Her older brother played Division I football. So naturally, Caitlin grew up competing in everything. But basketball? That was hers. She picked up a ball before she was out of diapers and was playing organized ball by age 5. The moment she started shooting, her coaches knew she wasn't normal. At just 7 years old, she was often playing with boys, regularly torching them from deep and showing off court vision most middle schoolers didn't have yet. By the time Caitlin reached Dowling Catholic High School, she had already made her name on the AAU circuit, playing with elite teams like All Iowa Attack, facing off against top-tier national competition. At Dowling, Clark wasn't just the best player on the floor. She was miles ahead. She averaged 32.6 points per game as a senior, earned McDonald's All-American honors, and broke almost every school scoring record. But here's what really separated her. Her pull-up three wasn't just reliable, it was logo-range lethal. She wasn't afraid to trash talk or take over games late. And while most high school stars try to pad stats, Caitlin was studying film, breaking down matchups like a coach. Yet even with all of that, some doubters still asked, "She's from Iowa. Can she really dominate at the next level?" So when she committed to the University of Iowa, it wasn't seen as a super team move like other top recruits picking UConn or South Carolina. It was personal. Caitlin wanted to do something no one had done before. She wanted to put her home state on the map and show the world that greatness can come from anywhere, even from a small town in the Midwest. And from the moment she stepped on the court in a Hawkeye uniform, everything changed. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court in a University of Iowa jersey, the world realized one thing. This wasn't just another good college player. This was generational. In her very first season, Caitlin averaged 26.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game. Numbers unheard of for a freshman, male or female. She wasn't just scoring, she was controlling games like a seasoned pro. The range, the confidence, the court vision, it was all there. And it was electric. But most importantly, she did it her way. While other players played by the book, Caitlin ripped the book up and launched from the logo. No hesitation, no fear. She was pulling up from 30-plus feet routinely and hitting them like they were free throws. The internet couldn't look away. ESPN started covering her highlights daily. And suddenly, arenas that used to be half full, sold out, standing room only. In her sophomore season, Caitlin led the nation in both points and assists, something no player had done in over 20 years. Her stats were absurd. 27-plus PPG, 8-plus assists, and 40-point games that looked effortless. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was how she did it. She played with a chip on her shoulder, with confidence that could quiet a crowd or send a home crowd into chaos. Whether she was drilling 35-footers over double teams or staring down defenders after hitting stepbacks, Caitlin Clark played like she belonged on an NBA court, and the world started paying attention. Then came March Madness, the true test of legacy, and Caitlin Clark? She didn't just pass, she dominated. In the 2023 NCAA tournament, she dropped 40-point triple-doubles, led Iowa past powerhouse teams like South Carolina, and took the Hawkeyes to their first national championship game appearance in school history. She broke viewer records, she broke scoring records, and she redefined what women's March Madness could be. The 2024 season? Even more impressive. She became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, surpassing both Pete Maravich and Kelsey Plum, averaged nearly 30 points per game, and led the country in jersey sales, fan attendance, and media mentions, all while staying humble and locked in. Suddenly, women's college basketball wasn't just respected, it was must-watch primetime television. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark. She wasn't just playing college basketball, she was redefining it. And with every logo 3, every stare down, every record shattered, she was building a legacy so big, the WNBA couldn't wait to draft her. After rewriting the history books in college, there was only one move left to make: go pro. And in 2024, the inevitable became official. Caitlin Clark declared for the WNBA draft. No surprise, she instantly became the most talked about draft prospect in decades. The buzz wasn't just national, it was global. She wasn't just a top pick, she was a franchise changer. And when the Indiana Fever called her name with the #1 overall pick, everything shifted. From the second she landed in Indianapolis, Caitlin turned the Fever from a rebuilding team into a primetime attraction. Season ticket sales quadrupled overnight. Indiana Fever merchandise sold out for the first time in years. Her debut was broadcast on national television and pulled in record-breaking ratings. But all of that would mean nothing if she didn't deliver on the court. Spoiler alert, she delivered. In her rookie season, 2025, Caitlin picked up exactly where she left off, averaging over 18 points, 6 assists, and shooting 35% from deep, breaking rookie assist records within the first month, and holding her own against future Hall of Famers like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Sabrina Ionescu. Every night was a show. Every shot from the logo sent the crowd into chaos. And with each game, it became clearer. This wasn't hype. This was reality. Caitlin Clark didn't just raise the ceiling for her team, she raised the floor of the entire league. WNBA attendance saw its biggest spike in over a decade. Streaming numbers doubled during Fever games. Social media engagement around the WNBA hit all-time highs, thanks in large part to her highlight reels and viral moments. Even NBA players, LeBron, Steph, and KD, were posting about her. Casual fans were tuning in, and young girls around the country, they weren't just watching, they were dreaming. For years, the WNBA fought for attention. Caitlin didn't just bring eyes, she made it cool to be a fan of women's hoops. And the wildest part? She didn't need to be flashy off the court. She let her game, her focus, and her fire do all the talking. As her first season unfolded, she became the clear frontrunner for Rookie of the Year, and more than that, she became the unofficial face of the WNBA's future. What Caitlin did in her rookie year wasn't just impressive, it was transformational. She didn't just enter the WNBA, she changed it. By the time Caitlin Clark played her first WNBA game, she had already done something most professional athletes spend years chasing. She built a brand. Not through scandals, not through controversy, but through hard work, authenticity, and game-changing impact. She wasn't just Caitlin Clark, the basketball player anymore. She was Caitlin Clark, the cultural phenomenon. Let's start with the numbers. Before even setting foot in a WNBA arena, Clark had NIL deals worth over $3 million with Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, Buick, and more. Her WNBA rookie jersey broke sales records across all major platforms, men's and women's. Her signature shoe deal with Nike? One of the biggest ever for a women's athlete coming out of college. She proved, definitively, that women's basketball was marketable, not just as a niche, but as a mainstream force. She made investors pay attention. She made brands rethink their strategies. She made money move, and a league rise. But Clark's impact isn't just about what she earns. It's about what she represents. She's unapologetically competitive, unapologetically vocal, and unapologetically herself. She talks trash, but backs it up. She celebrates hard, but works harder. She's got swagger and substance. Young fans, especially young girls, see her and realize, I can be that. I belong there. Clark runs basketball camps back in Iowa every summer. She shows up at youth clinics, gives interviews with poise, and constantly highlights her teammates and coaches when given credit. She's aware of the spotlight and doesn't run from it. She uses it intentionally. Let's be clear. Caitlin Clark didn't single-handedly save women's basketball, but she did accelerate its momentum at a speed no one expected. She made ESPN move games to primetime. She got NBA legends tweeting about WNBA matchups. She made debates on First Take about women's players. And she did it while honoring those who came before her, giving shout-outs to legends like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and Tamika Catchings. She's not just making history, she's amplifying it. Caitlin Clark isn't just the next big name in sports. She's the blueprint for a new generation, one that embraces confidence without apology, one that blends competitiveness with leadership, one that proves women's sports can be just as entertaining, just as valuable, and just as worthy of investment as any men's league. The crazy part? She's only 22. Most athletes take years to make an impact. Caitlin Clark? She did it before turning pro. And now that she's here, the WNBA is on fire. Young girls are dreaming bigger. And women's basketball has never been more exciting. She's not done writing history. She's just getting started. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of women's basketball. She's the blueprint. By the hoop. What do you think will be next for Caitlin Clark? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts.